Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the reunification of my ot7 collection. I have been waiting so long to do this. It's been several months since my ot7 collection has been, well, first completed, but second separated. A little TLDR for people who haven't really kept up with my videos this summer, or if you just happen to be watching this video because you want to see an ot7 collection. I was separated from my collection for several months, but I was still collecting and working on my ot7 album collection, and now is finally time that we are bringing it back together. So a couple videos ago I had set up the pages all ready to go, and so this video is going to be the reunifying of the ot7 sets that I already had, and then also my Taegimin collection that I originally collected of just those three and now have everybody else's cards. I think that's all that I need to say before we can get into the video, because I can just talk through everything else as we go through. So this first page, I really don't like it. I'm kind of confused on how to start these binders since I do have 3 album binders now, and this used to be flipped over starting with the Too Cool for School postcards, but for now I thought I'd put the family photos and family-esque photos starting, but I don't think it's going to stay like this because I just don't enjoy how this looks when you open the binder. But for now, this is the Persona family broadcast photo, and then this is the pre-order benefit from the Do You Know Me BTS game as our placeholder cover page, and then I start with the postcards because I usually like to start with larger inclusions before getting into 9 pocket pages because I just personally really like how that looks. But anyway, let's get into the actual cards now. So we're starting with Oh Are You Late 2, and we have the cards that I was missing. So I do always keep my setups in either fan chant or age order, but I do often change the layouts on it based on how the cards look. And I thought with this set, because Jin is the only one with a dark background, it's very annoying, that it looked better for him to be in the upper left corner and have everything else be the white background here. So that's where I went with that. And then these are the fillers that I made from Moo. I'll once again link that business down below if you're interested in printing fillers and are US based. I don't think they're a good option if you're not US based, but if you are US based and you're looking for fillers, I will link the business down below. And that is our starting page for Oh Are You Late 2. I really am so excited. I also made sure that I had all of the name versions. There are different presses of these that you can buy that are still real. Some of them say, instead of the member name on the back, they'll say Are You Late 2. A lot of times those are real. Obviously you got to be aware of fakes for everything, but just because it's a different printing on the back doesn't necessarily mean it's not real. But for the consistency of this set, I really wanted everyone's name on the back, so that's what I did. And then for School Love Affair, so I'm not going to definitively call this video finishing my ot7 collection, and that is because I don't quite know what that means. I think finishing your ot7 collection is different for everyone. So for me personally, I decided not to collect arms in and arms out for every member. I had previously already collected arms in and arms out for Taegimin, so I have theirs already, but because there's a weird amount of tickets when you do it like that, I decided to do changing pattern, and I may go back and I may collect every single person's arms in and arms out, but for right now I wanted to do it like this. So I already have the big inclusions in for everything because I wanted to save us all the time and pain it takes to center all these and tape them in, and I also made my own custom sleeves for these tickets. So I did do this ahead of time, and I landed on arms in, arms out, arms in, arms out, and then on this page we repeat Yoongi's arms out because I have his, right? And so arms out, arms in, arms out, arms in, and then on this page, because I have the other versions of Vmin, I decided to do this, and I recently added an arms out Jimin signed School Love Affair ticket to my collection. So this one is signed, and then we have arms in Tae, arms out Jimin, and then obviously my ideal here would be arms in signed Taeyoung School Love Affair ticket. Hopefully I can find one, but it's certainly not a priority because for now I like how these look in these pages. They're definitely a tight fit, which is why I had to tape them in, because if you don't tape them in they really hang out and stuff. But I thought with the sleeve and being taped in, I liked how this 4 looked, and I think the numbers work out really nice. And it is always, no matter when you turn the page, arms in, arms out, arms in, arms out. So I just really like the consistency, and I thought it was a good solution to the weird number of tickets that I have. And should I find Tae's signed arms in, he will go here, but it's not a priority. That will definitely be an opportunity purchase should I come across it. Anyway, moving on, we also have School Love Affair Special Edition. So again, if you're a real stickler in completion, technically I'm not complete on album cards because I don't have the first press for anyone, not even my bias line. And currently, as it stands, I still don't plan on pursuing the first press unless I saw them for a really good price and it was easy and made sense to get. But for now, I just went new press for everyone and I'm happy with that to mark it complete. This is actually the hardest card for me and all the cards that I was missing. This was the hardest one for me to track down when I was completing ot7. I don't know why searching for this group card on Mercari Japan was extremely difficult. We know the Instagram tags are broken and Mercari US is rarely a viable option for even album cards. So I had such difficulty tracking this down that I'm so happy that this set is complete now because it was frustrating for sure. I also contemplated putting these in an A pocket, but I honestly really like how 9 pockets fit these size cards, so I'm happy with how this looks despite them not being the right orientation. I think I'm okay with it because I really like having the smaller size cards in the 9 pockets. It's just my preference. And yes, we can address the elephant in the room. If you follow me on Instagram, then you would have already seen this, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, then I do have the War of Hormone broadcast cards for VN. Do not be alarmed. I've actually had this one for several months, and I've had this one for over a year. So surprise, they were hanging out and now they're finally making their formal debut on this account because it was time. It was time to show them to the world, but I actually have owned them for a very long time, so they don't feel like brand new to me. They've been in my collection for a while now, but this is their first appearance on this channel. So hello, I'm hoping to do a broadcast video very soon where I want to talk about my own experience collecting broadcasts, showing what they should look like, and kind of making it an unofficial guide, but also not an unofficial guide because I think those are only so helpful. I can maybe give guideposts and advice, but I really can't give concrete action items, if you know what I mean. But anyway, that's a future endeavor. Next, we have Dark and Wild, which I know is funny because I believe this summer I said I'm not going to buy a 10 pocket page just so Dark and Wild can have a 10 pocket page. That's just yet another instance of me lying on the internet. But what really prompted me to get the 10 pocket pages was because Tay has 5 album cards coming, so I wanted to experiment with that look. And Meow Cafe, which is a US based collector supply store I've really been enjoying lately, had these slim 10 pocket pages for sale. I was like, this is a win. So I really like them so far. I hope they end up making more A4 size pages because I don't think they have 2 pockets or 4 pockets yet, and I really want them to because I also had my friends try their 9 pockets and they're really nice as well. They also make A5 supplies, so I enjoy these pages a lot because I think this just looks really nice. So thank you to Layover for having a weird number of cards, which inspired me to get the 10 pockets in the first place, because now I can look at Dark and Wild all on the same page. And of course, this is annoying because it's the only non-horizontal card, but that's okay. These are the cutest, sweetest babies, and we love them. So 10 out of 10 would recommend Meow Cafe if these are the kind of pages you're looking for your collection. I will say these particular ones, the slim ones, are not big enough to fit Dragon Shield, so I have them in a slimmer sleeve. So if that matters to you, you can't get the slim version to fit Dragon Shield. I think they have bigger 10 pockets that maybe, don't quote me, maybe will fit Dragon Shield, but that's in their plus binder size range, which I don't obviously have, so I had to do the slim version with the slimmer sleeves. But I think it's fine in situations like this, especially since they're side loading. Everything up here is protected, which is always more concerning, I think, than the side. So anyway, I'm really a fan of those pages, as you can tell, because I just went on and on and on talking about it. Here is the broadcast cards for HYYH. So we've got I Need You and Dope. This is the last broadcast card that I need for chapter 1, and he may or may not be complete. You'll just have to wait and see. I'm taking this out because I do want to show you that I made my own pages for my broadcast cards. I really like having everything pushed to the center and held up, so I don't know if you can see it because they're clear pages, but maybe if I put my hand over it, you can see where I created a line here and I created a line here with my fusing tool to hold the broadcast card into place. And I have done that with all of my 4 layouts for the War of Hormone broadcast cards. I also made a custom page, but because there's only 2 of them, I just ran the line here so they get held tighter, and that's a lot easier to do than the 4-pocket one, that's for sure. But I honestly really think it's worth the time that it takes to do it, because I think they just look so much nicer when they sit here like this, held into place, and I'm not taping anything in. So if I ever need access to the card for whatever reason, I can just take it out and there's no tape, nothing's ruined, anything like that. I also made my own custom double sleeve. So this sleeve is linked in my regular supplies. There are 2 different kinds of broadcast sleeves that will fit a regular broadcast card perfectly, but there's no sleeve, at least that I've been able to find, that double sleeves it perfectly. So I have made all of these extra outer sleeves to double sleeve my broadcast cards, because I really like double sleeving things. I know you're rolling your eyes at me if you watch my channel, like, you know, I'd never stop talking about how I love to double sleeve things, but double sleeving my broadcast cards was obviously very important to me. So I'm just really happy and satisfied with the way that my broadcast collection is working out, and kind of like the time that I've taken to present it in a way that I think looks the best. So 10 out of 10, again, recommend making your own pages and sleeves if you have the time and desire to do so, because it just makes the collection so much more satisfying, in my opinion, when you can custom fit everything to your own needs. Anyway, I will get off my soapbox now and we can go on to HYYH part 1. So I did already put these in ahead of time because, like I said, dealing with large inclusions and tape is not fun. This is something where I could have made custom pages for, but honestly, the taping was a lot faster and easier, and the likelihood that I'm going to take these cards out is a lot lower. So basically what I did is I have a sleeve that perfectly fits the card, and then I stick it in a bigger sleeve and tape the sleeves to each other. So no card is getting taped, no card is getting hurt, but I tape the sleeve to the sleeve, and then this sleeve really fits this pocket page well, so it doesn't slide around much or move, and everything is held where I want it to be held. And I'm trying this out. I think I like having these big inclusions look at each other like this instead of having like Young line and then you turn the page and Maknae line. I think especially because these don't even have the fun signatures on it like Wings and Young Forever do. So I like how this looks. I think it's cute, and for now I think I'm definitely going to keep it that way. But that is our newly ot7 collected part 1 set all together. And then Dope I've already had, so there's no changes here. But then here is another new exciting addition for the Run broadcast cards. I really wanted to get the group photo cards, so I did add the group photo cards to my collection, and similarly did the same kind of custom page where they're held in and stuff. But here's the indoor version, the outdoor version, and then I have both of Veeman's Run broadcast cards to open the part 2 section. And then from the Run broadcast cards we go into part 2, which I did already own. And then because I decided to collect the group photo cards for Run, I used to put Run in Young Forever, and I had a numbers issue, and so I decided to collect my bias line for Young Forever broadcast cards. If you're unaware, there were a lot of promotions for Young Forever, so there are a lot of these broadcast cards, and these broadcast cards are on the lower side of the price range, so this was an easy decision for me to get Namgi, because also cute and iconic hair forever, and look at the dimple. So to figure out all of those numbers with the addition of the group cards, we went with this. So Run broadcast part 2 album, and then Young Forever broadcast, which leads us into Young Forever Polaroids, which I now have a full set of, and they have also been put away. These are similarly custom sleeved and then taped into a bigger sleeve and then just slid into the pocket page, because I try not to tape pages. When you put tape on pages, it really ruins them, and so I only do it in specific circumstances, like with the School of Affair tickets. That's basically the only time I've put tape to the real page, because I'm trying to preserve pages, and when you put tape on the pocket page, it gets really gross, and sometimes you can save it, but often you can't. There's always like residue or like weird bending and stuff. So anyway, that's my solution when you want something to be taped in. You don't necessarily feel like making a custom sleeve, and you still want access to the card to slide it in and out. I think that's the best way to do it, is sleeve tape to other sleeve. So that's my recommendation. Here we go into Wings. So this is a very crazy custom page, honestly. I made these 3 lines to hold the lenticulars, and then I decided to put these at the top. This is not my best work, if I'm being honest, and I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep it like this, but I continually struggle with what to do here, and I know a solution could be collecting Yoongi's Blood, Sweat, and Tears broadcast card, but Blood, Sweat, and Tears broadcast cards are on the pricier side, so it's just not really a priority, and I think this is an okay solution for now. This starts us to go into wings, and it's definitely a creative liberty, you could say. And then these I also put away as well, but now we have ot7 for the wing set. Are they silly cards? Yes, but I'm happy to have the full set now. And then closing this binder, we have Spring Day and You Never Walk Alone, which you've all already seen before. So here are the broadcast cards starting the section, and then here is the ot7 set that I had previously completed. And that is the end of this binder. So as you can see, this binder goes from Too Cool for School all the way to You Never Walk Alone, and then we get into the next binder. Okay, and so now we're into the second binder for my ot7 album collection, which covers Love Yourself all the way through Map of the Soul 7. So as you could see from that first binder, there were actually very few cards to put back into the collection because I either A, already had the ot7 set, or there were a lot of big inclusions. But obviously starting from now, there's really only photo cards for album cards, so there are going to be a lot of cards to put away. So we're starting with her Elle. I still don't know. I would like to have a cover page of sorts here, but I do have these 3 to put back in the collection, which is very cute. Having the full Love Yourself set too. I can also make the design on the back. I haven't done that yet, but catch me on a day where I have some time, and I probably will, just to see what it all looks like and experience it. And then for the broadcast cards, I decided to put them in front of their corresponding album photo card that matches, if such a thing exists. So for these, obviously these match with the O concept, so I put them in front of the O cards, which I did already have a completed set for, but here it is with the new filler. I love this set. Very unpopular opinion, but I'm really happy to have that there, and I think the broadcast card looks good in front of the actual concept. And so here we go with V. I've completed this set before, so it's funny to see it once again completed. So here is V all complete again, and then the pizza set, which I'm definitely so excited for. I personally do like the O version the best, but E is a close second. So because I'm no longer having to make the hard choice of only collecting one full set per Love Yourself album, I am so happy that I'm actually finally able to own the pizza set now, and I think it is so cute. This card especially, I'm so happy to have in my collection, but that is the completed E set. And then these, some of the minor things I still haven't gotten to. I still haven't gotten to making fillers for this, but I decided to put the vinyl here because that's the end of her, and obviously this is the her vinyl, so I will be making fillers here, and it is the bridge into Tear. So here is Tear. This is one of the sets that was the catalyst for me collecting ot7, so the fact that I'm finally getting to see it complete and ready is so exciting to me. So that is Tear Y. I truly think one of the most gorgeous ot7 sets for album that exists, and I'm so happy that it's finally completed. And then on the next page we have O. So you're probably like, why is Taeyong there? Well, I decided to pull out the cards from some of the signed albums I have. I have a Tear signed album, and it came with this card. So that is why he is on the back here, and he's used as a filler for Tear Y. And there is Jimin. So yay, that is the completed O set. I love this set. And I love this set so much. These are some of the top for me when it comes to ot7 album sets. I'm just so excited that they are complete. They look so beautiful. And moving on, the last set of Tear that I hadn't completed is You, the Sleepy Boy set. So here they go. And yay, now this set is complete, and I already had Tear R complete, so I just put that place where it's supposed to go. And then Fake Love obviously goes with Tear, Idol goes with Answer, but because it's a weird amount of cards, I'm just going to still keep this together. So Fake Love and Idol is the bridge between Tear and Answer. And I just still really like how this looks on top of these brighter weird colors from Answer, so I just think it all really looks cool, and I really like those there, so they're gonna stay there. Next up is S. These are cards I honestly never thought I would finish, but S kind of looks good as an ot7 set. And the fillers, I kind of dig. They're still hilarious. Like, these cards are hilarious, but I don't dislike them as much, especially in the set form. I think they somewhat make more sense, I guess, but you know, at least the colors and the fillers look good. This set, however, still definitely my least favorite album set, even seeing it in full form with the matching fillers. Answer E just personally is not for me, but there it is complete. And now one I do like a lot is this one, Elle, obviously. I decided to do it this way because I thought in particular having Jin and Hay's hair like this in the center looked the best. So I know I really flipped the layouts around in answer S, but I really thought about what I thought looked the best. Here it matters less because all of their layer hair kind of looks the same with the weird filter lighting that's on these cards. But for this one, I was like, that works really well to have those two top and then on this row. So, and then I do have this one complete, but because I am completing ot7 group cards as well, I did get this back into the collection. I used to own this. I think I said this in my haul video. I used to own this card, but then I really couldn't stand it, so I sold it, but I decided to get it back, and I made a custom sleeve for it so I could see if I could get it to fit in the pocket page better, and I think it does slightly. It only hangs out a tiny little bit, so I think I can tolerate it. But there is the Answer F ot7 set complete with the group card now and all of the Love Yourself lenticulars, which is exciting. So now we move into Persona. This one I already had complete, so we were completing these. I will say I am endlessly grateful that I did not have any Persona problems this time. The first time I collected Taemin, I had a lot of issues with fakes, and luckily this time around Persona went smoothly. So maybe is it redeemed? Probably not in my eyes. I still think I hold a lot of resentment for these cards because these were by far the most frustrating things to collect. And then I put the broadcast cards here because they match this concept, which is version 3. I think it matters less because you see a lot less of what they're wearing than you do in the broadcast cards, but technically that is what they're wearing in the day version of these broadcast cards, so that's why I did it like that to open up to version 3. And then we have version 4, which is definitely my favorite of the selfie versions. If you exclude version 1 being the concept version of the selfie versions, version 4 is definitely my favorite, so happy to see that. I particularly love this card because I really like what he's wearing, and I love their necklaces. I think they're really cute, so very happy to have this one complete of all of them. And please don't laugh at me. I don't know how it is possible. I've looked everywhere because I know I've owned this card as a freebie 2 or 3 times before, but I must have given it away as a freebie 2 or 3 times because I cannot find a Namjoon Persona postcard anywhere. I was able to locate everyone else's except for Namjoon. So is that embarrassing? Yes, that the last thing that I'm missing from my ot7 collection is a Persona postcard. Yes, it absolutely is, and you can laugh at me. So I didn't move this page around yet just because I don't have Namjoon's, but I will be doing it. So young line is flipped, and then when you open it, you'll see the full spread once I am able to get my hands onto Namjoon's card. I'm just so mad because I know I've been sent it as a freebie before. So I just, in my head, I was like, I have to have one lying around somewhere. I've looked everywhere. I can't find it. So I will rectify that situation, and this will be ot7 postcards once it's complete. But it is definitely funny that that card is the only thing I'm currently missing from my ot7 sets, because how is that possible considering how much these are sent and traded around? I just can't believe I can't find one. But anyway, these are Tae's broadcast gifts for his gift bag. If you're curious, if you're like, what are these? These are his Vante photographs for his specific Persona broadcast gift that was given out when they were promoting Boy With Love. So that is what concludes that section. And then again, if you're a real stickler for completion, I'm not completing BTS World. I like how this page looks. I mean, technically I'm still missing 3 cards, the thicker credit card type ones, but I don't know. For now, I'm happy with this page and currently have no plans to collect ot7, though I might get the credit card style ones eventually. For these 3, it's just not a priority, especially because historically people charged a lot for those. I have a feeling nowadays I could probably find them all for for a pretty good price if I looked for it. I just never look. But that is BTS World, still in bias line, and will probably stay like that because it's not really an album, it's an OST release. So I think depending on how much of a stickler you are to the definition of completing ot7 for album, you can get away with that. And that is currently what I'm choosing to do. Anyway, now we close this binder off with Map the Soul 7, starting off of course with version 1. For these ones, because they all have group cards, I decided I wanted to collect all the group cards, and I figured I would just do my more standard layout because I do really love filler JK group card. So I think that's how I set all of these up. Version 2 I did have complete before, so I just put that back into the collection, and there it is with the group card. And then for version 3, obviously this is where the broadcast cards come from, so I've had the cute and cool version for Vmin, which leads us into version 3. No, that's not right. I literally just got done saying I was doing my standard order, and there I was trying to put Yuki in the middle. This is how it should be. Yay. So there is version 3 with the broadcast card that matched the concept leading into it. And then finally we have version 4, which I also had to get the group card for. This was the only group card that I was missing for Map of the Soul 7, which was nice. It wasn't too hard to find this one like it was to find School LAYOVER Special Edition. And that closes out Love Yourself Her through Map of the Soul 7. I will get into the last and final binder, which only encompasses B through proof, but is definitely the most full binder of the bunch. And here we are in the last binder, like I said, B through proof. So this is the only binder where I'm really happy with the cover. I think this looks really nice. And then we get into POBs. So obviously B is also the time that they started doing randomized member-specific pre-order benefits. And I went back and forth whether or not I wanted to collect ot7 for POBs. And what I ultimately decided on was to collect ot7 for Korean POBs. I still have not collected ot7 for Japanese POBs. And for now, I don't think I plan to because I think my numbers work out really well, and I just don't have a desire to at this current point. I'm not gonna say never, I won't do it, but for now, I just wanted to collect all of the Korean POBs for ot7 because a lot of them have become a lot more affordable in this past year, so I thought it was a good time to finally do that. So I did buy all the POBs on Mercari Japan, and I will put them all away now with you. Very excited to have this set. They're very cute, and just in general, I wanted to complete my B section for Vmin as well. I was missing their POBs, which really did not feel right, and I was missing some of their lucky draws, which was a very slow process for me, but I'm happy that I was so slow about it because I think I ended up getting really good deals on all of the remaining cards that I was missing, and having a pretty I don't care attitude led me to a good deal in the end. So I did finally decide to complete all of Vmin for B, so it's a win all around. Anyway, there is the ot7 set for the Korean pre-order benefits. I'm particularly very happy because now I have a blonde JK card. This is my one, and I'm happy that he's joined the collection. And then it goes into the ot7 set, which I already have. There's no album cards to put away in this section actually, because from B through proof I was already collecting ot7 for albums. So the changes you'll see in this binder are mostly from the pre-order benefit perspective, and then also some lucky draws that I've added to complete my sets. So this starts the lucky draws, which I've already had this page complete, but I switched up this page because I was missing I think 4 lucky draws total to be complete for Jimin and Tae. So on this page I decided to do these, which are M2U and Soundwave for the Essential Edition, and then as fillers I did cut up the postcards. I have a lot of B albums, I promise. I have some that are completely fine and intact, and because we don't exactly know who is who, I've just never felt a desire to display them, but I thought this was a really cute solution. So everyone is displayed. We have this side, and then on this side as well I have the remaining ones that aren't on the front, and then I have just this cute little page from the actual album book as the 8th slot. But I really like these fillers, and I think the lucky draws look nice. It also prevented me from having to be like, well, should I get more lucky draws? And it's like, no, I'm fine with this. This is a good amount, and the fillers are part of the album as well, so it doesn't really feel like this page is empty by any means. I really like how that looks. So this was the page that I needed to add more lucky draws to, and I decided to put all of the like outfits together. So I was missing him, and him. And while this might look like a weird layout, I really angsted about how to do this, and I ultimately decided I just wanted the similar outfits to be across from each other like that. So I'm happy with how this looks, and now I am officially complete for all of Jimin and Tae's lucky draws with these ones, and then this whole page. So B is done once again, and I'm very happy about how it ended up looking, and I liked that extra page of lucky draws I got to include. So that is the B section, and then Butter Permission to Dance. I did a little bit of changes to the layout as well, so I'm starting it like this now with the Polaroids on the back. I think it looks better than what I did before. I had it kind of in like a 3 mixed pocket, but since I have these stickers, I thought I might as well make this the front page with the lyrics. And then this is still the same. So for these early bird gifts, I decided to not do ot7 for them. I'm just sticking it with the regular general Korean pobs is what I did ot7 for. So for stuff like this, I still only have my bias line, but for this page, here we have the Weverse ones. I also just got all of these on Mercari Japan. These have always been pretty inexpensive. A lot of people had these for sale, so they don't really get sold for much, so it wasn't that hard to get the rest that I was missing, which I deeply appreciated. So there is that set. I'm really not sold on my fillers, but if I'm being honest, I really slacked on the fillers in this section because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do for them. So I just kind of mixed together things that I already have, and I think I'm definitely going to go back and change these fillers, but for now I'm just going to keep it like this. So this page is definitely shift around because I used to have these cards with Taegi Min's Korean pobs, but now I have the Korean pobs on their own ot7 page, so I did some moving around for this. So this is the 7/7 broadcast card, the first time that they switched from doing the regular size broadcast cards to cards. So I have theirs, I have Jimin's Butterful Night, Tae's Butterful Night will go here when I am able to purchase his, and then these are their Japanese pre-order benefits. Like I said, once again, I decided to not do ot7 for Japanese pre-order benefits, mostly because I really do not want to buy the proof hollow ones. I really don't like those cards, probably my least favorite cards in this entire binder, so I really didn't want a full set of them. So as much as I would love a full set of these, I don't want to do all Japanese pops because I really don't want the proof Japanese pops. So for now it's like this, and then hopefully they will fill in here eventually. And onto this page now. Yes, we once again have repeating Jimin and Tae's, but the reason is this is the card that I pulled from my Butter ot7 signed album, and then this card, someone sent it to me in the mail as a freebie, and I really love this card. I was not going to like resell it or put it somewhere else, so I was like, well, I already have ot7 signed album card Jimin here, and I need an extra filler here, so it just really worked out well that I happened to have 2 spare Veeman cream versions, so I have them as the fillers on this page, which I really like. And then obviously they match on this side, which I've already had this complete, but that is how the spread looks now. And then so we go from cream to peaches, and there is our full beach set, which I also have already had. And then on this, I decided to flip them around so you could see more of the photos. This is a filler, and then this filler is definitely going to get replaced, I promise. I know it looks kind of funny, but I can't figure out what I want to put there. So for now, that's just a placeholder, and I like doing this. This did take a while to flatten out. I had one of my very large textbooks sitting on these for a week and a half at least before I felt like okay to put this in my binder, because they are thicker when you do it like this. And I also was okay to do it, I thought, because what's under here is the lucky draws. So these are obviously thicker, these are thicker, and if they're going to imprint on anything, it's going to be the thick credit card style lucky draws behind them, so it's okay. Also with these binders, I'm just less concerned about impressions because they don't sit like this flat, they stand upright in a slipcase. So in general, I'm not really concerned about impressions, but even when it's down like this, I'm like, it's not hurting anything because it's just getting pressed into these cards, which are certainly not bending by any means. I didn't do ot7 for lucky draws, so for this era, I still only have my bias line, which you've seen completed before, but this is the end of Butter, which then leads us into Proof, which I did have mostly complete except for, again, the Korean pre-order benefits. So we can go there quickly. It's still basically in the same setup that you already saw it. And once again, I didn't do the early bird gifts as ot7 and currently have no plans to do so. But again, like I said, we're never going to say never on this channel because we know historically that really leads to me putting my foot in my mouth. But regardless, here is ot7 for this beautiful set. I can't lie, this is the set that really convinced me to collect Korean pobs for ot7, is because I really wanted the proof set. I don't know why there is a random sleeve here, but okay. And here is JK. So that set is complete. Again, these are mostly placeholder fillers. I'll probably keep this one, but I don't know if I'll keep this one. This one feels to me as random as the disembodied shoulder for B. This one right here, just a random Jimin disembodied shoulder. The fact that I just have Jimin's name here with his mentions from the end of the album, it's mostly because I only had spare compact albums to rip up, and if you know what the compact photo book looks like, a lot of them are bright red, which are useless. I only need the pages that are gray and white, and I was using one that I had already torn up a bit, so I really only had these to work with to make colors. So I think in the future I will go back and fix that, but who knows when, because I'm happy with it for now. And then this page got slightly changed. I used to have the Hive Insight cards on this page, but I decided what I liked better was to put the broadcast cards here because I thought they went better with the Japanese pobs, because again, very dark cards. And so I have the MTU Lucky Draws, Japanese pobs, and the broadcast cards. And honestly, if I could find these for a good price, I'd probably get it to complete the page, but I also really kind of like how it looks with the filler in the corner, so we'll see what happens. But I like this page a lot more now with the dark on the top and the bottom, and the Hive Insight is now in my merch A5 binder, which makes more sense anyway because that's where all of my other Hive Insight cards were. So I'm happy with the change that I made there. And then these have already all been complete. This is the only ot7 Lucky Draw set I have, and I have no regrets because I think everyone looks so handsome, stunning, beautiful, amazing. I love this concept so much. I wish we got to see more of it, but I'm really happy that I have this in ot7 form because I'm just obsessed with how this set looks so much. And then finally, I have the remaining Lucky Draws, which are these Soundwave cards, and then just, you know, the matching concepts from the non-randoms. So there is the end of the cards, and then we have the proof standard postcards, which I already have, and then we go into the collector's edition, which you've already all seen as well. I have ot7 for these. I might flip these around, but they're taped onto sleeves right now, and so I have to like change the movement, and I just haven't had time to do that, but I'll probably make it so you see the full spread again, so there's consistency. Speaking of that, I'll probably do that for these as well. So we'll start with Kyungline butts instead of their faces here, but then on this spread, it'll be everyone's beautiful face. So note to self to do that the next time I'm in this binder. And then we have these. I put these from the exhibition here as fillers because what used to go here is the broadcast cards, but obviously I've since moved those, so these are the new fillers for this page. And then we have the accordion cutouts of all of their albums. And then finally, I'm going to put the Planet OST cards here. And here's my defense of this decision. Okay, I was talking about this with my friend, and granted this was a long time ago, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the details wrong because I have a memory of a goldfish. But I remember we were talking about the fact that Namjoon, I believe it was Namjoon, was heard singing part of The Planet, I think when they were either filming in the Soup 1 or in the Soup 2. Essentially though, that means though that that song was being worked on and recorded during the time of chapter 1, and so I'm counting it as a chapter 1 release, most specifically because it's the same exact concept as Proof, so I think it can go in the back, and they definitely recorded it during chapter 1. So I have decided to save myself the headache of trying to think where the hell to put something like this, and because I already put OSTs in my collection, you saw BTS World in the other binder, and so I will just be putting the Planet, I don't even know how to say this word and I'm kind of embarrassed, is it Bastions? I don't know. I don't even understand what this release really was, but I did buy it. And there it goes. It is going at the end of my album collection. And so I have this, and then these are the postcards that came in that album as well, which obviously also matches with the Proof concept. So that is where I decided to put the OST to save myself any headache, and my vague recollection of talking about this with my friend that Namjoon spoiled the song a little bit, I think in either season 1 or 2 of In the Soup, which means they recorded it a long time before it came out. Anyway, that is where I'm putting this OST, and that is the end of my album collection. So I'm going to do a full flip through of all 3 binders now. So that is the newly revamped and reunified ot7 Photocard collection. I am so happy with it. I think it looks really good. I also meant to address this while I was putting all this away, but you may be wondering why I decided to do 3 binders. These are obviously small rings, which is what necessitates the need for 3 binders. And the reason I did that was because I tried to put it all into one of my big white binders that are a little bit more than 3 inches big, and it does not all fit. So regardless, I'd have to do either 2 white binders or 3 of these smaller slipcase binders. And to me at that point, the difference between 2 and 3 when it comes to these size binders isn't really that different. And so because I preferred to err on the side of collection safety and keep a lot of these cards in the slipcase so it's more protected from environmental factors, I just decided to do the 3 binders instead of the 2, because regardless, I'm already in the multiple binder realm for an album collection. So that was why I decided that, and I'm really happy kind of with everything, how it breaks up and stuff. I think it is annoying that this one is definitely more filled than the first one is, but everything can always be adjusted as we see what gets released in the backlog. If finals get released, things will just naturally have to get shuffled around. So for now, this is the setup, but it is always a fluid collection, and I'm excited to see if more substantial things get to be added to it, especially during this period we're entering where who knows what I will be releasing when it comes to merch, particularly in the album backlog. So fluid collections as always, and I'm excited for what's to come. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. This is kind of part 1 in a reunification series that I'm doing, a very unofficial series, but essentially I have to get my collection kind of back together after it was apart for so long. And so this was the first step, is getting together the ot7 album collection. My next video should be non-album stuff, getting all of that back together. So that's merch, DVD, tour, PCs, Japanese updates, stuff like that will be the next video. And then I think the 3rd and final installment in the reunification will be finally a chapter 2 update. That is the tentative plan for the fall in terms of the videos that I'll be making. So if any of that sounds interesting, please do subscribe. You can leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and comment below if you would like to. I'd love to hear about your thoughts on the changes that I made to this collection. Otherwise, I hope that you all are having a good day, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Goodbye.
Get the hell out.